Hello, and welcome to another scene in the living world of darkness, rage across New York. This scene finds a small gathering of Garou under the quote unquote leadership of one. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, of one Uktena Fostern. And all of them have. Oh, is he only Cleeth? Oh, I thought he was Fostern. See, shows what I know. Newly minted Cleeth, who has seniority over the two cubs and relative newcomer that has arrived on Sept. All of them have gathered for the purpose of investigating Metropolitan First Hospital, which has had some whispers through kinfolk circles, especially on Glasswalker Net, that some of the staff there are very, very strange in an alarming sort of fashion, in an alarming sort of way. Though nothing particularly untoward has happened to any kinfolk, the unnerved kinfolk have relayed their story, and these Garou are ostensibly going to go check it out. Brother's Judgment, what are you doing to lead this this party?
Brother's Judgment, as he gathered all his fellow Garou, will definitely look a bit disheveled, mainly dark circles under his eyes, and he seems a little bit out of focus. But he states, as he makes a certain road call, the idea of this point of this particular movement is simply reconnaissance, unless there is some type of high risk factor in this hospital. I don't want to make any direct moves. No reason to get any unneeded attention. And he'll look over to Dorian and Icarus. This your first real mission?
No, I was on one before. Investigated on the biker guys.
This is my first.
All right. I guess I'll say the big rule of thumb. Remember the litany. Remember to not, and I repeat, do not break the veil. Me and Underdog have some arguments about that. But so I would prefer no Krenos, at best Galabro and Lupus if something really does go down.
I mean, apparently from what I've seen, my Glabro doesn't look as, as animalistic as other people's.
Good, then you'll have an advantage in moving around.
As he's probably standing in Glabro right now with Fair Glabro.
And he'll look over to the newer face. Storm's Eye, right?
Dorian leans into her. He's speaking to you. Vaughn?
As he noticed that she seems to be deep in thought, he'll return back over to Icarus. And he'll say, you don't have any problems with hospitals, right?
Nope. Not at all.
No.
I mean, there are people get sick and get better, so nah, I'm good. He looks really tired, so he'll occasionally rub his eyes, but he'll still more or less try to look alert. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Awesome.
I should point out that if there are any cops, I do tend to get really pissed. I don't like them. Something I have to work on, I guess.
Well, as long as you don't go into a frenzy and attack them straight out, we shouldn't have a problem.
Wait, why do you have a problem with people below you?
Wait.
I said cops.
Cops. They're not below.
My bad. But you said Cubs. I was like, that sucks.
I'm a cub. That won't make much sense.
You'll be
Oh,
surprised.
yeah, that would be really awkward.
All right. For now, the idea is we're going to come in as interns. I know some people that can give us not interns job shadowing. So I know some people who can make us some paperwork to make this a little bit easier to move around the hospital. So, and he will give out a name of the particular association that they're part of and the person that they're shadowing. That anybody asks, that's who you tell.
Gotcha.
And I also plan, if we don't notice anything in the middle of the day, if we might be doing something that has to come out at night, which I don't necessarily want to force you guys into that position. It looks more directed at Dorian and Icarus, but eventually we'll have to deal with those kind of things.
That's fine. Gotta do what we gotta do.
Good, what do you think? You back with us, Storm's Eye?
Oh yeah, I'm here. Sorry. She says, kind of more paying attention now as she gets off her phone, which I apologize. I did not catch the intro or what exactly we're doing. So.
No, we're investigating the hospital. Hopka's main thing is don't break the veil. So if anything goes down, said Galabro or at worst Lupus. No Krinos, no Hispo. Said we're checking the day. I said I have forgeries to make sure we can move around the hospital slightly better than we normally could. We're job shadowing right now. And if we don't find anything in the day, we may have to check out this place at night, which I warned the Cubs. That's dangerous to do.
So you have forgeries?
Yes, minor ones. So you're gonna have to act. You're gonna have to act it up.
Have you thought about just writing the system? Meaning, when you go to a hospital, there's a certain set of protocols for you to be admitted and looked at and treated and discharged. Have you thought about doing that? That seems like it would be a lot easier, and plus give us a lot more time to kind of move in and actually observe the staff. Because I'm assuming that's what we're looking for, right? Is these staff that seem to, these nurses or whoever, seem to do suspect things, correct?
Indeed, but I was concerned to be involved in any type of machination, so I wanted to avoid directly being part of it. But he'll look over to the Cubs. Would you be comfortable in doing that?
I'm just curious what job we're shadowing. I put quotes around the shadowing part.
ST is actually curious. Where do these forgeries come from?
Oh, I have a ally that is a private detective.
And he's going to give you forgeries for a hospital?
More of a ticket pushing to is quote unquote working today. Said not very good ones. More, he told me at the time that this person will be off for the time that we're going to be in, as long as he's going to be off from lunch.
You sound like you're underwater right now, my mans.
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
1 moment.
Much better.
Right. Do I sound better now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The idea is we're moving in at a time where the person is here, but they would be busy, mainly being at lunch. And at this point, we're just kind of wandering around, seeing part of the store, not part of the store, part of the hospital, obviously not being in the way.
So you're shadowing a private eye.
So I'm shadowing a particular doctor that private is aware of. The idea is, excuse me. The idea is, as we are job shadowing this particular doctor, quote unquote, he will be gone from the facilities as he would be out on lunch. As the private told me that's his typical eating schedule. So at this point, we would be more or less kind of in a break period. That's the disguise he's kind of going for as we're moving around. But as Stormire's brought out, we could just be part of the system, and that may be easier. Havaka, Brother Judgment did not feel comfortable doing that with the Cubs. So that's why he brought that up.
Truth be told, when she pulls out a knife, one of the Cubs can have an accident. She kind of like makes a cutting gesture over her forearm. You know, we're just doing at-home repairs, and a bad accident happened. They take we get admitted into whatever, and then it lets us kind of see what their process is. I feel like that would be much more pragmatic and efficient than trying to convince them that we're here on a job. She clicks her finger. She snaps her fingers because she knows English, but you can tell it's not her native language because she's from Russia. You can tell that much from her accent. Super. You know what I mean.
No, Havaka nods, and again looks back at the Cubs.
Yeah, I don't mind doing it.
Ah, man! I guess I'm doing it.
I just said I don't mind doing it.
Oh, I thought you said you were doing it. You gotta like, oh, good, because I was totally about to touch my nose and say not it. It's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, totally.
And with that, I'll go about the Sorb's eye. So, make it look convincing, please.
Wait, I'm not the. Wait. Are you sure that's what you want to do? It's not about what the Cubs want to do. You're the ranking Garou here.
No, so your suggestion is practical and makes sense. So my guy won't be too mad that I didn't use what he gave me, and if he does, I'll deal with it later.
If anything, I would suggest that the pair we might be intimately involved or have an intimate interest, so to speak. I think that would be easier to play up to allow us to follow them into the actual emergency room or hospital room instead of having them force us to wait out in the waiting room. Does that make sense?
No, we can just simply say that we're working together. That way, we should be able to get in.
Why don't we take the forgeries with us so when we all leave the hospital room and we're walking around, if anyone asks, we can flash our badges or whatever we have and be like, hey, doing work. And no one's going to think twice. Grab a backpack, bring it inside, switch out for different clothes. Possible idea.
Yeah. No, it's a good one. I'm glad you're thinking on your feet.
It would give the people who are going to sit inside the hospital room time to sit and relax, and not everyone's just staring at each other.
Do any of you have medicine?
I do.
I do.
Roll me an intelligence medicine check.
Okay, let's see.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
I do have law. By any chance, would I be able to look at these forgeries and see if they would be any good?
Not
Nope.
really.
Okay. Just wondering.
You ain't from here. You ain't know how these private eyes roll.
That's fair.
So Icarus and Brother's Judgment, both of you, as you sit here and are discussing it and are getting more and more like super serial with your clandestine nonsense, like both of you just sort of have this realization that you've never been in a hospital where people have like just been completely like confined to one room, like a waiting room. Like sure, maybe in the emergency room, but if like you just walked in with like something that a cub had to wait on in a waiting room, people can just wander almost anywhere in a hospital. Like there are a few places you can't go, but no one's going to bat an eye for you just traversing the hospital proper.
Realization hits Brother's Judgment. Maybe I'm thinking too hard.
We might be. We just might be. Yeah, no. You should just go. No one really looks at people. Unless you make a scene and then everyone's looking at you.
Yeah, I can make scene if you want me to.
No,
But I don't think that's the idea right now.
No. No. No scenes needed.
All right.
So what's the finalized plan?
As he looks to the group just so we can have a unanimous decision, the idea is to go into the hospital, ask civilians, try not to cause a scene, said maybe talk to a nurse or two. And so he looks at Storm's Eye and Dorian Icarus, and just a quick overview. What's everybody's appearance score?
2.
3.
3.
Yeah. So honestly, we don't look too out of place, and so said, and I'm sure people will be willing to talk to us. So obviously, the rage will come into play, but that can be managed. Okay. And if anything goes wrong, we have something to fall back to. And Havika will also text everybody a particular destination as a meeting point if something goes wrong.
Okay.
Then, other than that, there's nothing more still to say. He does look over the Storm's Eye and does ask if you feel something spiritual might happen, or spiritual may be happening. Please do tell us.
I'm not one to keep my mouth shut.
All right, they were in agreement.
I mean, you're the riot here.
I will prefer everybody's opinions. That way, we don't go in half count.
We have a general plan. So yeah, I'm ready.
I'm just sad I don't get to cut anybody.
We'll always have another time.
So the lot of you gather up your whatever it is you're taking with you, and make the short walk. It's only a few blocks from the sept. I mean, it's probably a pretty decent walk across the park, but once you come out on the Harlem side of the park, you make your way a couple blocks and come to a corner upon which you find First Metropolitan Hospital, which, you know, it there is an appearance about it that is simultaneously both really vintage and really modern at the same time. You see this old building facade as you step in through the doors. Basically has had a glass facade and walkways just sort of like built in and up and around the building itself. It's a very strange architectural design. And yeah, whenever you step inside, you know, it's lightly populated with individuals coming to and fro. There's a small little cafe off to the side, you know, for people waiting for whatever's going on, and a passage right through the middle of the building that leads to all of the different wings of the hospital. by the look of the key up above the opening.
Zelda's gonna stop at the cafe and get herself a frappuccino and a newspaper.
Okay.
She will fold it up though and kind of stick it in her back pocket.
Okay. Zelda now has a tasty frappuccino and a wadded up newspaper in her pocket.
All right. So, does Habakkuk have? Is that all they go by?
I'm sorry.
Does Habakkuk just go by Habakkuk, or does he have like a shorter name, or he prefers, or whatever?
No, he just goes by his deed's name or his birth name. So it's just Habakkuk.
Okay. Which ward was our guest in? Or where are we going to go see?
And he gestures over to the, I believe, yeah, he gestures over to pediatrics.
She nods. And she will, I guess, start walking that way.
Towards where?
I guess pediatrics.
Hmm.
That's what Bossman said. So
That's
Okay.
where, yeah,
What?
that's where my guy is. He'll bring up the message from the network simply to set the staff seem odd.
Oh, okay. Well then, Zelda's gonna find a place to give her like an ideal like view of the staff.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be like a seating area or whatever.
So do you see this this curved structure leaning out in front of the facade of the building?
Curb structure.
Yeah, like look at the picture. You
Mm-hmm.
see the modern looking curving structure like straight above where the POV is. Hello?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Like the that bench.
No. No, like you see like right directly above the people that are the woman in the red jacket and the woman in the black tank.
Mm-hmm.
Like, straight up from them. Do you
Mm-hmm.
see there's like a gap between like what looks like a floor and the face of the building?
Oh yeah.
On top of that, there is a large seating area.
Oh, okay. Then she'll go up there.
And from this, you can see basically anyone coming in and out of the building itself. Like all of this structure is encased in glass, so it's nice and air conditioned in the against the heat. And there's like sunlight filtering in through the glass above.
Wait, are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
That is fucking cool. Okay. Man, okay. I thought that was fucking outside. Okay. Interesting.
Man, how to get that funding?
Wow. So yeah, she's gonna basically sit up there and just kind of pretend like she's looking at the newspaper, but just kind of like look over the top of it. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Sipping her s'mores frappuccino.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
And what are you looking for in particular?
Basically staff that maybe seem to look odd, have any weird identification, any marks, any that seem to maybe talk too long or maybe look shifty, have like nervous body language. I know it's a hospital, but you know what I mean. Not like the scared nervous, but more like shifty. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what she's gonna look for.
And what are the rest of you doing? Storm's eye just goes up to this seated concourse above this open air courtyard and takes a seat and starts sipping on her drink and looking over the edge.
Hey, Havica, give me $5. I'm gonna go to the cafeteria. That's where everyone eats. They talk a lot. And I'm broke.
Having looks in his pocket and he knows that he only has the $50 left that he got.
I just want a cup of coffee. I'll bring you back your change.
It's like he nods. This is all the money he's ever had in the city, so he just kind of looks at it a little passionately, and he'll give you $20.
I'll bring you back your change. I'm just gonna get like a coffee, maybe a donut. I'll find out where the staff's sitting, and I'll probably sit over there. That way, I can listen in on a conversation that they're having.
He nods.
All right, thanks, Havica. Right, you're the best.
Havika kind of puts a shushing finger on his lip and goes, "Don't use that word."
Right. Well, thank you, anyways.
So Icarus takes Havika's money and like disappears into the opening into the hospital.
Yep.
By himself.
Typical fucking bungnor.
And then Icarus is just like, "Psych, my money now." Sucker.
Have a go look over to brothers. Have a go look over to Dorian and go. Just make sure to try to stay in the earshot and don't get yourself hurt. And he will go over to. Like if you see some nurses on break, but they're not too busy, Havika's gonna actually just walk over and try to talk to them.
Okay.
He kind of looks at Havika, and under his breath, and other people can hear, guys. Don't get hurt. I'm a fucking rude. What fucking human is going to hurt me?
Famous last words.
True enough.
Okay, so Havika, you find a. I mean, there are plenty of nurses. There are all sorts of people in scrubs hanging out, having a coffee, reading a book, like taking a break. All these taking a nap, even on some of these benches. Like, there's a lot of staff around.
Alrighty. Well, I look for the most extroverted and try to go to that particular group.
Okay, so you find a mid-20s, blonde-haired man, like in just salmon pink scrubs, reading a book. He looks up at you and like just has this like sort of like natural instinct of like, oh, what are you? Why are you in my face? Like, but he just sort of like gives a weak smile and kind of like narrows his eyes and says, "Can I help you?"
Oh, if you're not too busy, I'm trying to do I'm working on a particular paper, and I wanted to interview medical staff to help with it. I was wondering if you're available. I'm sorry this is short notice.
He looks at his Apple Watch and thinks for a second and says, "Yeah, I mean, a few questions, I guess."
And he goes, "Excellent." And he'll actually bring out a small notepad and a very old-looking ink pen. And we'll just simply say, the very obvious questions. How long have you been working here? What do you do? So, what is your specific duty? And just kind of go through the typical spiel.
Mm-hmm. And he gives the typical answers.
Yeah. And as I'm talking to him, if I need to roll this or not, nothing seems too odd with his statements, or he just seems like a regular dude, or anything that might seem a little off. If I may, I do have sense worm, if that would be applicable in the situation.
Sure. Go and roll.
Two successes.
Let me take a look. Okay. Take a look at that roll. Okay. So you sort of go through the motions that you're pretty well familiar with at this point to allow yourself to sense the emanations of the worm. And out here, there's really nothing in particular, but coming from that entrance, you can definitely sense that there's something very faintly. There's something that smells particularly wormy. But this gentleman has nothing on him that remotely resembles that.
Okay. And once I go through the spiel, I go, "Thank you very much, sir."
Oh, no problem.
With that, I will begin kind of moving in the direction where I feel like I'm getting the faint smell.
Mm-hmm. By the way, Storm's Eye, you get all of that exchange.
Okay. She'll just bring that, delicious frappuccino to her lips. Just suck on a little bit.
Yeah.
Look at old boy. Mm-hmm.
So, Havoc, you're going into the building itself? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, sir. But
Okay.
Hubs are picking up.
Okay. So, Icarus, you make your way through the marble interior of the administration building and on beyond it into the various wings of the hospital. It doesn't take you too long to find the cafeteria. It's a really large one. It's almost like a food court, really. Like there's McDonald's, there's Burger King. And this is just sort of where the hospital in general can come and eat, like families of the patients and such like, and of course the staff themselves. And so yeah, you it's bustling. It's afternoon, but there's still like a healthy amount of people in here, despite it being a little past lunchtime.
Okay. He'll take a chance to look around, look at the different places that they have offering, look at $20, look back up, murmur to himself, I only said I'd get a coffee and a donut. So he'll go over to McDonald's and get a coffee and get a cheeseburger. And he'll be like, yeah, it's close enough. It's close enough. He'll get the change, he'll pocket it, and then he'll make his way over, not directly next to a group of staff, if there's any of them sitting with maybe like a table or so in between them.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll bow his head in a moment as if to say grace, and then he'll probably just start eating and just kind of like doing that casual looking around of like, man, this is a good ass burger. But he won't say that, but he has that like really happy, hungry look of like, man, this is great. And like I said, he'll do his best to try to like key in on like different conversations, but not lean one way or the other to listen in too terribly hard.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a charisma stealth check.
Charisma and what else?
Stealth.
Gotcha.
See how cool you can play it while eavesdropping. So nobody gives you side eye as you are minding your own business, enjoying a cheeseburger. The nurses that you have plopped down next to could almost bore you to sleep with the mundane hospital talk that they're exchanging. Just mind-numbing, details about like, how this surgery went, how that went. Oh, these rounds are abysmal, yada yada yada. But you do happen to catch a snippet that there had been there has been some sort of really inconvenient um, maintenance going on near the coma ward. They've installed some new security features on the doors, and it's sort of like crimped off an entire like hallway on the third floor. And they just complain about it for a while and then move on to the next mundane thing.
All right. He won't do anything extra. He won't make anything to show interest in himself. He'll do his best. Like he'll kind of murmur, like he'll mouth a little bit of it to himself to try to remember, and he'll just continue eating. Just again, continue to listen on just blanket conversations.
Okay. Dorian, what are you doing?
Doing what he's well, the alpha told him. Wherever he was, he's staying here, keeping an eye out if he hears anything strange, listening to the staff particularly.
So you went to the cafeteria? Is that what I heard?
No, I think it's just where everybody started splitting up. So like at the entrance, I think.
Oh, so you're like sitting on that bench in the picture?
Yeah,
just
probably
hanging out. Okay. Well, between you and Storm's Eye, you've got this place pretty well under surveillance. And after a little while, maybe 15, 20 minutes, nothing seems out of sorts.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then Zelda's going to fold up her newspaper and walk into the building.
You pass by Dorian as you go.
She just gives him a quick glance, like, "What up, cuz?" But what's the gauntlet rating here, by chance?
I'm
probably sure it's pretty high, cause
yeah, it's like an 8.
Okay.
Although being a do you have spirit lore?
Unfortunately, I do not.
fucking feared without spirit lore.
Hey, I had to choose. This is my I'm like 2 weeks old, bro.
Fair enough.
I can understand if I was like 3 months in, 4 months in.
Let me see.
She has Umbra lore and Garou lore and trouble.
Go ahead and roll me intelligence Umbra lore.
Ooh, okay. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Oh, that's minicam. I don't want that. Okay. Would the problem solver specialty come into this, sir?
Sure.
What's the diff?
6.
6. Then 2.
Okay. So as you've sort of been sitting here, it occurs to you that this very strange mix of like modern building wrapped around an older structure probably has some really curious like umbral effects.
Hmm.
It's just a strange design.
Okay. Any anything that could possibly be exploited?
I mean, you could just go outside.
That's true. Sure. She will. She'll send a text message saying that she's going to try to cross the gauntlet. Well, she's not gonna put in that specific term, but she's going to go outside and check the other side, and she'll be back. And she's gonna try to cross. Probably try to walk behind a building or something, like that, someplace,
Mhm.
and then use some kind of reflective surface. Probably her knife, if that's possible.
Okay. It's going to be diff 7.
It's just Gnosis, right?
Yes.
Oh, my Gnosis says no. I fail.
So you stare really intently at your knife, and you just don't seem to go anywhere.
Well, I don't suppose I can try again after a bit.
Yeah, you have to wait a while. Meanwhile, what?
Now we're just going to say, as people just see this girl just with a knife out looking into it.
It's in an alley, like NBD. Okay, so Havika, what are you doing?
He is trying to follow the scent of the warmish taint. Um, though I do believe as he's walking towards the direction, he might see a familiar face.
Does he see a familiar face?
Yep,
My
there
lord,
he
Stewart.
go. Mhm. He sees Havika, and he just kind of pleasantly waves.
You guys are in the middle of a hospital corridor. It's not particularly busy, but like there are still some people around.
Abigail will move closer towards him and will do his best just to appear pleasant and like, oh, what a surprise. And we'll just simply say to Milo, like, I thought you have crows to do this. As he says a bit jokingly.
Ah, nothing like going in here and visiting, getting your hands dirty. Gives him a pat on the shoulder, maybe a little too rough.
Okay. Well, just having, as he puts an emphasis, a quiet night out or quiet venture around this place. Is that my friends are enjoying the cafeteria as he points, kind of gestures towards it. The young ones are there. That's mainly as he's speaking codes, kind of describing where everybody's at and what they're doing. So, right now, I'm going to check out. As he uses again, speaking in code, basically as he tries to speak in code, a wormish area. So, if you want to join me.
Yep, this is it's your relative here in the hospital. I'm just here to help and support you. Gives him a pat on the shoulder and sympathetic eyes.
And then with that, brother's judgment, and said, and Milo will be checking out the scent that he caught.
Okay. Um, go ahead and make me a. Well, we'll just call it a perception primal urge. Not
Both
you.
of us?
No,
Oh.
just him.
Gotcha.
Abaca. Yeah.
But rolling it now. I have one.
Okay, so two of you catch an elevator up, and you sort of follow your senses in the direction of the corruption that you've caught wind of, and your trail ends at a one of those big double doors that hospitals have, with a very advanced looking security pad on it, and above the door and on a placard you can read Reeves Coma Ward.
Abigail looks for cameras as they kind of go to this area, because this area might be a little, not necessarily keeping, it'll be a little restricted. So he's just kind of looking out for cameras.
You don't see any.
And he kind of grinds his teeth a little bit. This is going to be the hard part. As he looks at that particular ward.
What's the play?
On debating which side we should do it. It might be easier going through the Umbra, but this place is more than likely surrounded by grandfather spiders brood, and they may not like us doing that.
Do you want to peek while I watch your back?
And he nods to that. And yeah, Kafka will kind of removing his glasses a little bit, looking like he's expecting them. Will take a quick peek in the gauntlet.
Okay. Isn't that a gift?
No, it's the same as crossing over, but you only peek. So
Okay.
I think it'd just be difficulty gauntlet.
Is that your roll there? Yes.
Though it should be one less, because I am still suffering from nightmares, so I fail.
No, just roll it again.
All right. Okay, I guess I see.
Okay. Uh-oh.
It's just a fail. It's just a fail.
Oh, we all failing, man. That's 3 of us.
Helps the grief. We all look grieved at whoever's in the hospital.
Anyway, so as you look through your glasses, on the other side, you see a massive weaver structure, basically completely cordoning off the area in front of you, like a massive like a cocoon, so to speak. And there are pattern spiders very busily maintaining it.
Again, another bit of a grind, and we'll state to Milo, grandfather has cupped up is on keeping this door very shut on the other side.
He just kind of nods.
I think I might need to get the Cubs on this one. I know a thing or two about computers, but trying to actually crack open the door, that's different. And he'll send a text to the Cubs and asking if anybody's good at is anybody good at opening doors.
So everyone else's phone lights up at almost the same time. The message from Havica.
What kind of lock is it?
He'll say it's a keypad.
That's just a
I can try. I mean, I've done it once or twice.
He'll respond, I need a bit more insurance. I've heard keypads are not fun to deal with.
What did the text message say?
If anybody can open a keypad door.
It's a card, key card plus keypad combo.
Icarus
What?
will text back, "Are you on floor 3 by the comma wards?"
He would respond. It was the common words, or I thought I heard Reeves. I'm sorry.
It's the Reeves Coma Ward.
Yeah, the Reeves coma word. Yeah, he'll say
That
yeah, he'll say yeah.
they put new security over there. The nurses were complaining about it. When the text message will be back.
Once he gets that, he says, he'll just respond. Do you think one of them might have the number?
They might? Question mark. But they're on lunch.
Andrew, is there a receptionist desk nearby?
There is not. This is a doorway that is in the middle of the hallway.
Gotcha. Is there a window?
There are 2 small windows set in the doors, and all you see is another hall. Is the hallway continuing forward, a cut to the left where you can't see anything beyond it, and another set of doors beyond that.
So we definitely don't see like patient rooms around here.
No.
Damn. Just in case, I would like to activate persuasion.
Okay.
Didn't have it up, so I'll just roll that. Sorry. Go ahead.
Havka will ask. He'll state that. He'll look over to Milo. We'll try to talk around and see if we can get the numbers. I think I have one way if we can't cleanly open the door, where we can break open the door without anybody seeing us at least.
All right. Is there a place we should meet back up at in case something goes wrong?
Havka will send a meeting point that he gave everybody.
Thank you.
So as you guys are talking, the doors up ahead of you swing open, and a pair of orderlies are pushing a patient gurney with a covered body out of the ward and into the hallway.
They don't look too obviously odd, right? Just people moving a particular person.
Well, the body is covered.
He'll look over to Milo and go, and then simply ask, "You want to check them out? Or maybe we should just see if we can keep the door open."
I mean, you don't have that kind of time. Like, if you are going to get to the door, you are going to have to squeeze past some orderlies moving a body through the hallway, and
Okay.
be pretty obvious about like you trying to catch the door before it closes.
Yeah. All hospital doors close fast.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it's manually just swinging back and forth, or it's more like a mechanical opening and closing.
It is a very fast hydraulic door.
Okay, so it's
Not
so-
impossible to catch, but you're going to have to maybe bowl over some orderlies to get to it.
Well, the idea is not to cause a scene, so
Any chance? Any chance we could tag team this? If Milo could distract the orderlies while he slips in.
Well,
oh,
I mean, like I said, you're going to have to bowl over some orderlies to get to it. Distracting them probably isn't going to change the fact that Havoc is going to have to shoulder past some orderlies,
Okay.
and they're moving. Like they are not stopping for you. They are moving down the hallway. So it's a yay or a nay on go or don't.
Havaga is going to be a bit conservative on this and not want to try to push past a bunch of orderlies. He's simply going to say at this point, yeah.
The two orderlies say, "Oh, excuse us," as they move past you.
So we move out of the way, and he'll just simply say, I guess we'll go back to the original plan.
The orderlies move to an elevator at the far end of the hallway, past where you are, and hit a button and wait.
And it's because I know there's more public elevators, and I know some hospitals have more specifically staff elevators.
Yeah, it's a staff elevator.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, back in the alleyway, what are you doing?
I guess I'll try to cross again.
Yeah, Dorian for now till she's here. He'll keep an eye out. Then he's probably waiting. Then he'll go to the cafeteria to join the other cub.
Okay. Icarus, you spot Dorian entering the cafeteria, looking around for you.
Icarus will quickly go close up his sandwich since he's finished it and get up and hurry over. Hey, how's it going?
So, all right. Heard anything?
Oh, yeah, come on, let's go. And he'll start walking, leave the cafeteria. Yeah, so there's up on floor 3, they put in some new doors with security clearance and pads on it, some of the nurses, and he'll point back over his shoulder, but kind of in that casual, like, yeah, some nurses back there are complaining about it. That's all I got. What about you?
Didn't hear anything. So Zelda's trying to cross over. See if she can see anything on the other side.
Yeah. Let's go.
Third floor?
Yeah, third floor. I guess that's where Havoca was at.
Yep, that is where Havoc and Milo are.
I got
Zelda.
one success on the gnosis roll.
Okay, so you cross into the penumbra, and as you sort of round your way back out to where you can see the hospital, you see a dome of web surrounding the hospital.
Okay.
This one doesn't. This one, like the dome itself, actually doesn't look too terribly difficult to penetrate if you're careful. But you know,
Yeah. Does it look more recent or
yes.
okay? She is going to is there any spirits nearby, so to speak, that are not Weaver?
Not particularly. It looks like the area is pretty bereft. It looks like there's something going on here that's frightening the more benign spirits away.
Okay. Then she's going to I guess go in.
Okay. Make me a Dex Athletics.
Dex Athletics.
Hmm? I mean, if you would like to shift into a more suitable form for that, you can.
Yeah. She will. She'll probably switch to Lupus. So let me. What's the Dex bonus for Lupus?
4, I believe.
All right. I don't have athletics, so do I take a penalty or can I still roll it?
That's a talent, so you're fine.
Okay. 2 if it's diff 6.
Okay, so you pretty easily manage to weave your way through the pattern spider's creation, and once you get in past this like outer dome, the interior is actually pretty barren. There are some structures running up to a sort of a cube hanging in the middle of this dome. None of the other structures seems to really have much in the way of a permanent reflection in the umbra, except for the old part of the interior building. And there are some structures sort of like pushed up through the reflection into the building itself, and you see pattern spiders going to and fro up these ramps.
Okay.
Into the reflection of the building.
And it's a lot. Is it a lot of them?
It's a fair amount. Like it's you can count a few dozen just by looking. And for the record, some of them notice you, but they don't really go out of their way to mess with you.
Okay. She has curiosity, so fuck it. She's gonna try to test that not paying too much attention to her thing. Like you know what I mean?
I don't.
She's gonna see how close she can get without them fucking with her.
Okay.
Or at least not raising any kind of alarm. You know what I mean?
So you hop onto one of the structures leading up into the building and find that it is perfectly suitable for movement, and make your way into the umbra reflection of the old building ahead of you. And inside, this ramp leads directly to a nearly perfect large cube in the middle of the building that has been completely sealed off by the Weaver spirits. And as you approach, one of the pattern spiders stops and turns and stares at you.
She shit. She'll just look at it and say, fuck it. She'll just say, what is going on here?
It tilts its head and sort of chitters out in, just this like jumble of spirit language. It makes sense to you. It basically amounts to abominations within, sealing it off.
Abominations? What do you mean?
It tilts its head.
What makes them an abomination?
The collective have decided they are not to be allowed out.
Are they tainted spirits or
Something other.
by other? What do you mean?
It tilts its head again and just sort of points a steely digit at you. Not unlike you. Not like you. But not unlike you.
So they are they another kind of shifter?
No.
Am I allowed to investigate further? Am I allowed to go in and see for myself?
The collective is curious. It is against our purpose. What will you provide it?
What will I provide it? Is that what you said?
Yes. Us. We. It. Points at itself. Points at the other pattern spiders.
Depending on what it is, we might be able to assist you with disposing it. In the meantime, I can give you this here gnosis. Perhaps I could perform a service for you in return.
Perhaps so. This one is number 883.
Will that allow us to get into the door on the other side?
It will allow you.
Allow me. On this side?
Yes.
If I open the door here, would it open the door on the other side?
You will have to provide much more than essence. However, it will allow you to think on this for a moment. It has another secret.
What is it?
A favor for a favor. It looks
Sure.
expectantly.
Sure.
Down below, corruption exists.
What kind of corruption?
Both of the spirit and the real.
Do you know what it is? What's causing it?
A lesser form.
You want me to destroy it?
I care not what you do with that. But perhaps it will allow you to come to a informed decision when it comes to this conundrum.
Okay. I'll check it out.
What is your name, creature?
You can call me Stormeye.
This one will remember you, Stormeye.
Did I remember you? Was it 883? 889?
883.
883. It's close. Okay. I will return.
It will be waiting.
So yeah, she's gonna leave, and I guess start heading below to see what this is gonna do to allow her to make an informed decision.
Okay. Meanwhile, back in the rail.
I see. What would be the role to crack the door? Would it be technology or what is it, larceny?
It's going to be an intelligence larceny difficulty 9.
Oh shit! Oh, that's
So,
bad.
by the threshold of 2 successes.
Of 2, okay. 2 or 3, did you say?
2. So, before you do that, the two of you take the elevator up. Milo and Havoco, what are y'all doing up there? Just standing there like a couple of dorks in the hallway?
Well, Milo's definitely going to ask. He's going to say, so does it, this obstacle, does it seem too strong? You think it's something we can't push through?
Yeah. Look, I think we can get in. I'm more worried about us, leaving a trail. So I guess let's see exactly when he says that the cubs come from behind.
Yeah, the down the hall, not the staff elevator, but the regular elevator dings open and 2 dingbats are produced.
Did you guys find anything?
Not really. You told him about the 3rd floor? Oh yeah, they're here. Not much from that. Yeah. Zelda's on the other side too.
Just the door. Just a door thing on this floor, the 3rd floor. That's all I got.
Okay. Then he'll look over to Dorian. Said, "Do you really think you can open this lock?"
He'll look at it. This one is going to be fucking hard.
Yeah, they said they got new security for it. So we'll probably need to swipe a card off of someone. Or find out the pen.
And he nods to that. Well, what do you guys feel comfortable with? Stealing a card, or talking to the right person to get the spin number, or opening this lock?
I would put opening this lock as the last option of those two, of those three.
Would we need to wait for
Storm's
to
Eye?
come back before we all go in? Zelda. The
No, I would prefer to wait for it. I want to make sure we're all here.
Okay, yeah.
Abigail will send a message to Zelda and see if she responds.
Considering that she probably can't bring her phone into the Umbra because she doesn't have a.
You can't bring your phone in the Umbra. You can.
Can you?
Just how long you think you're.
I thought the main thing is you would get a signal in the Umbra.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since I played Werewolf, so I don't remember.
Yeah, essentially you're gonna have to like be real tight homies with some pattern spotters if that's the kind of stuff you want to be doing. Like,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she does not respond. Then I think that's the fair response. So, yeah.
After a few minutes, he doesn't get a response. He just responds, "She must still be in the Umbra." And Havaga will kind of look around and go, "Okay, well, since we don't have all the time in the world, I guess we need to go sideways. That way we can see if we can find her." And Havaga will look into his glasses and begin trying to move sideways.
Alrighty, Cubs, take note. If someone doesn't pop up on the other side, get scared.
Wait. Shouldn't we just go like outside where it's easier? And then come here from the other side?
as you say that, the elevator doors that the two orderlies disappeared into open, and they are produced from that elevator and begin making their way back to the back towards all of you.
Can I run my fingers down Havika's face to stop Havika from crossing over?
Yeah. I'm assuming once I hear the elevator noise kind of dinging and swinging, it's like, okay, let's not do that. And there's no cameras here, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay, so we're doing it here, not going outside.
No,
Yes.
no, Havaga will state to the Cubs. He'll state to Milo and one of the Cubs. He goes, Milo, could you go with Icarus to the other side? And he looks over to Dorian. I have a different task for us.
Okay.
You'll pat Icarus on the shoulder. You say, "Do you know where the bathroom is?"
Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you where it is.
Thank you.
No problem. And he'll head over to the bathroom.
And Havaga would like to try to speak to the orderlies if they will allow him to.
So they're talking to each other and sort of like do that thing where like they sort of like halt what they're doing just so they can get past you and, you know, not be overheard. And so you stop them.
And when Havaga speaks towards him, he will state, he will begin kind of Distracting them in the sense of kind of fast talking and trying to see if we can get them get them to speak about nothing, as he gestures to Dorian to see if he can try to steal one of their cards.
I'll try. And he'll try to pickpocket. Can I put a willpower into that?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Dex larceny, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
And these, I will point out that the key card is like clipped to their like collar, hanging down their chest.
Oh,
There is a set of keys at his side, which is much easier, but not exactly what you're looking for.
So shit. What would the key card difficulty be?
It'd be like a
Like
difficulty
9, 8. Okay.
may I make a roll to, I guess, see how distracting I am?
Okay. You do that first before you roll Dorian.
Yes.
I guess question is, do you want this to be more of a subterfuge?
Yes.
Or okay.
Manipulation subterfuge.
If I may I use my appearance instead?
No.
Okay. There we go. And would my persuasion come into play as well?
I mean, you've already succeeded without persuasion, so.
Might as well make sure it's doubly done.
Go ahead and add 5 dice to your pool, Dorian.
Okay. Damn. So I'm going to use a willpower.
Well, let's say 4. One
Okay.
for the success, and then every over.
And I'll use a willpower. So diff 8, you said?
Mhm.
Okay. So. Oh shit! Thank God for the willpower.
Okay. Yeah, so you managed to nick right under one of the guy's arms the key card off of his lanyard, and it almost catches right there, but luck is on your side, and you manage to slip it away from you.
Okay. And he keeps walking like bosses.
By the way, what were you saying to these poor orderlies? Abaca.
Yeah. Mainly, you talk about like, he's kind of like, hey, oh, you guys are part of the Coma Awards. Like, what's that like? It's like, is it mainly just making sure that they don't get bed sores? You know, kind of just going over relatively obvious questions and answers.
Like, you get into maybe 10 seconds of that, and neither of them seem very impressed, and like that's just enough time for Dorian to slip the card, and they just completely dismiss you, like, go away. And then one of them like pauses in front of the door and says, shit. And he looks at the other one and holds up his lanyard. What the fuck? The other one's like, I don't know, maybe he dropped it somewhere. And so he like pats around, looks at the floor, looks at the two of you, walks past you towards the elevator, pulling his keys out off of his belt loop.
Once they pass him and they have their back to them, Dorian will put it in his pocket so he doesn't have it in his hand anymore.
I assumed you had it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
no big deal.
Shit, that was close.
The other guy swipes his card and steps into the ward, closes the door.
But we have it.
Meanwhile, Milo and Icarus, what are y'all doing in the bathroom?
I don't know.
Well, said to go to the other side. Time to stare into a toilet.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we're. Okay, I guess I'll see you on the other side.
If you don't, get scared.
I mean, hope not. It's a toilet, though. I'll be fine. It's just a toilet.
Of course. It's just a toilet.
Roll gnosis.
That's diff 7, right?
It's diff 8 in the hospital.
Ooh. Oh, this is gonna suck. This is
Div
where I die,
7 was
guys.
outside.
So we roll. So I have nightmares,
Mm-hmm.
and I only have one gnosis.
You always roll a minimum of 1 dice.
Okay.
If Nightmares is in effect, does that affect Gnosis rolls?
I believe it's all dice pools, right?
Yeah, it says all actions.
Yep.
Yep.
Here we go.
So I don't.
Sorry.
So do I even bother rolling?
You always get 1 dice.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool.
There is a before you roll. Hang on. There is a bit of primal instinct that tells you that this is probably very scary.
Okay.
It's the same. It's not like going over in the park.
Yeah.
Like you can smell the stainless steel in this place. Like you just probably do not want to do this. Milo, however, jumps over to the other side and nearly appears right on top of Zelda as she's leaving.
Gotcha.
Very luckily. Very luckily.
Hello, friend.
Oh. Hello. Is it just you?
Oh, there's somebody else. Give it a second. If nothing happens, time to get scared.
That's a botch.
No. Not at all.
So
Did actually that's a botch.
that is a
That's a
botch.
straight up box.
Oh shit.
So Icarus, you try to cross the gauntlet as you stare into the basin of the toilet, and as you begin to move between the worlds, you immediately get stuck. And I mean stuck like you've never been stuck before. You can't move. And, like you feel like you can't even breathe. Like there's just an unrelenting stillness about you.
Oh, he's never been stuck before. This is. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no.
Zelda will look at Milo and did you cross on the inside of the building or the outside?
Inside, we stared into toilets.
Oh god.
You just get the doggy face palm.
You good at crossing? Can you?
As you somehow hear Dorian's voice from the other side going, I fucking told you.
No, you didn't.
I don't
It
know
is-
if I could go in between on purpose. Is that a possibility?
You are able to attempt to grab, and the way that it is that you know, Icarus doesn't not show up, right? Like you can see an outline of a Garou trying to get through the gauntlet.
Okay.
Oh, fuck!
Show me. Is it just above us or?
It's within reach.
Oh,
Help me.
yeah. It looks like he got stuck. How long do you think he'll make it? How long do you think it'll last?
What? No!
She shifts up in the Krynos and stands on her hind 2 feet, and she will attempt to snatch him from the in-between.
The upside down.
So do I need to roll Gnosis for that again?
Let me find it. Unexpected result is unexpected.
Just a note for the future, Milo. Places like this, especially like a hospital, it might be best to just do it outside.
Noted.
Yeah, it's a strength roll.
A strength roll?
Mhm.
Oh!
Wow. That's it?
Yep.
How about you just... Do I have to do it, or can...
Either of y'all.
Oh, I got you.
She would just tell him, why don't you just go ahead and grab him?
Fuck. Krynos power jump. He doesn't say that out loud. He doesn't announce his attacks like a fucking video game character, but so straight strength.
Mm-hmm.
Got a diff for me there, Captain?
Diff 6.
Diff 1 would be 8 instead of 7 because sleepy. 3 successes.
Alright, so you managed to yank Icarus from his position between worlds.
Yep.
All of a sudden, you feel the freedom of movement once more, Icarus, as you're yanked into the Umbra.
Got it.
You with me, Cub?
He'll stumble, catch himself, and he'll just silently nod.
That's why we get scared.
Well,
Let's just go. Let's go do this thing.
Zelda's gonna shift down into Lupus again, and for the record,
I stand corrected. It is Diff 8, but you still succeed.
Sorry.
for the record, though, she looks like she has jagged edges about her, more defined jagged edges about her than the Umbra. Just letting you know. But yeah, she just says, I have a way inside past the door. I was able to get that much from a pattern spider, but unfortunately, in order to actually get closer, I have to provide much more a greater service.
Who
Think
has
you
to
can-
provide the service?
But from what the pattern spider told me, that they're basically caging and handling or getting rid of abominations. What exactly the abomination is, they said, not like me, but not unlike me. Did I say that correctly, Andrew?
Yes.
So, but there's some kind of corruption down there below that we need to take care of in order to get greater access.
All right. You gotta cut any deals for us to get down there?
It's basically what I'm trying to do now. So, if anything, I would be prepared for combat, if anything.
Milo starts dragging his claws along the floor. Razor claws.
Okay. You sharpen your claws. And then what?
She'll look to Icarus. Do you have your senses about you now?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
It's
Like
all
I
right.
told
Thanks.
Milo here, you don't want to shift in the middle of a fucking hospital or anything that's has technology or the like.
Step sideways is the term.
Step sideways, excuse me. Just for future reference.
Yes.
And she will kind of make like this tilting head motion, like follow me. She doesn't know exactly where she's going, but she knows she's supposed to go below.
Yeah, eventually you get to the quote unquote like floor of the penumbra where you would expect the ground floor to be, and you just find several holes, like just gaping holes leading down into darkness.
Well then, I think this is where you take point, Milo, crow catcher.
You got it. Sorry, was that?
Oh no, nothing. Icarus will raise his hand. Should we shift or just stay as Hamid right now?
You might want to take up either Hispo or probably Hispo, depending how big the hole is. How big's the hole?
They're pretty large. There's several of them.
You can, whatever you prefer combat form as, Hispo or Krynos.
Okay.
Just to be prepared.
Yeah, no problem. He'll take his time and shift up to Krynos. And then Don. Ready.
You
For
do,
the
Milo.
record, Zelda's gonna switch to Hispo.
Okay. Milo.
Well, Milo's in Krynos. He's going to stay in Krynos.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
I guess we're proceeding forward.
Forward being down.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a clear path down, or is it literally just like a hole?
Yeah, I mean it's a hole. There's some
So-
light filtering down. You can see a bottom, but you don't see anything in the darkness.
Does it smell funny with the increased senses or anything?
Yeah, it doesn't smell good.
You wouldn't happen to have a light, would you?
Zelda just gives Milo this incredulous look. No.
What if we don't find a light down there? We're just going to fight in the dark?
You can see the bottom down there.
Oh, we can?
Hmm?
Oh, he peeks over again. Oh, shit. I should have had a better look. I'm
You
sorry.
can see the bottom. You just can't see anything in the darkness.
We just need to make sure we move as fast as we can down the hole.
Right. Here goes nothing. Jumps.
And I assume the other two follow.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. Jump
Meanwhile, back in the reel, what's Havoc and Dorian doing?
Okay. Sad. And watching the orderlies, they did not put in a number in the keypad, right? They just used their keys.
Right.
Okay. Then Havaga says at this point, this is where the hard part is. Because I am still really worried about cameras. We're going to try to open the door.
All right. Well, I have the key card. Problem is the cameras.
And he says, I have a possible solution. He looks around. Is there any light switches or anything like that?
No, not where you can reach it.
Okay, and this is gonna look a little weird then. And he pulls out a small, more like cord, like a sewing cord, and he makes sure to tie Dorian to him. And he goes, I'm going to kind of turn off all the lights in this ward if I can. And I need you to be able to know where I'm at, all right?
All right. And he'll grab hold of the cord so they can like feel Havoc.
And as they open the door, I am going to cast Shroud.
Okay, what's that do?
It is an interesting ability. It allows me to cover an area in absolute darkness that only I can see through, unless they have supernatural means to see through absolute darkness.
And how big is the area?
I believe it is dependent on my roll. I am looking at it right now. So many pages. Okay. Okay. Sorry about this. Adobe. Okay, the unit creates a field of inky blackness through which only they can see. A player spends a point of Gnosis and rolls a Gnosis roll. Difficulty varies. 3 for Twilight, 6 for Indoors, 9 for High Sunlight. Each success blackouts a 10 by 10 by 10 area within the Garu's line of sight.
Okay, I'm gonna say that seeing as how it is based on line of sight, it's not gonna do you much good because the only thing you can see through the doorway is a stretch of hallway to another door, and there's nobody in it.
Okay, so this is just another hallway then. Okay.
Once you get past the doors, the hallway cuts to the left and continues straight into another door. So you can't see what's on the left cut.
Okay. Then I guess we'll just be sneaking then. And again, try to look out for cameras.
Yeah, you don't see any on the other side.
Okay. No, then we'll just be sneaking then. I thought once we get past this door, it leads right into the ward. I thought like there's a corridor, then the ward.
I mean, it is the ward. The ward doesn't have to be open into a line of hospital beds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Then no, we just sneak in then.
Okay. Make Dex health checks.
All right.
Div 6.
Remember the Great White Mouse thing?
What does the Great White Mouse do?
-1 diff.
Okay. I mean, doesn't change. Still 4 successes.
Yeah.
So 3 and 4 successes. Not bad. All right. So Dorian swipes the key card and the doors swing open, and you two sneak your way in. As the two of you make your way in, let's see. You guys are on the very bottom in that hallway.
Okay. So I guess that's the hospital beds at the top.
You would guess, but you're at the bottom corner, and so you look up the passageway and you see a nurse's station and several doors along the way.
Oh, okay. I see where there's the little red line.
Mm.
Okay.
As you peek around the corner, no one seems to notice. There's the orderly standing at the desk talking to somebody that you can't see. He doesn't seem to be paying much attention to you. Or the direction that you're in, I should say.
And is it getting stronger that I caught earlier?
Yes.
Okay. And we about to do some Metal Gear shit. The main thing is, as we're listening and watching, following the track of the scent, would I need to be going left up where that desk is, or keep going straight?
You would need to go left.
All right, so left in the direction of the desk. Okay.
Actually, the hallway does continue ahead of you, so there are some other options. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry, they cut off the bottom with all the faces.
No.
You guys's.
Are you using a minicam?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you should be able to zoom out or zoom in or whatever.
That's fine. I know where I am. The hallway continues ahead of you into
Okay.
a door.
Okay. Then, if the idea is we don't have to directly go in the direction of all the desks to get to where we need to go, or at least where I think we need to go,
Mhm.
yeah, I will say we keep moving forward. Man, if only we had that one gift to make us look like dogs instead of wolves, then I'd do this in Lupus.
So yeah, you cut across the hallway and no one seems to see you. Ahead of you is a door, and then the hallway cuts to your left again into another set of double doors.
All right. And the walls next to us, there's no opening. They're just two different rooms.
It's solid hallway all the way down.
Okay. And yeah, I keep following the hallway, but I try to listen out to make sure if we need to quickly move or do something really, really risky, to make sure we don't get seen by anybody.
The doorway ahead of you does have one of those rectangular windows in it.
Okay. Then I'm going to do a quick peek.
It appears to be a conference room of some sort. There does not appear to be anyone inside at the moment.
Just for reference, my mind is telling me we're in the spot where the brown line is on the furthest area where I believe the conference room is.
The big brown table-looking structure.
Okay, so there. So nobody's in there, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm not catching a scent in there, am I?
I mean, the whole place kind of vaguely smells
warm.
pretty wormy.
Okay. Then
Was there a window to the room we crossed with all the little grey bits?
So you're standing at this junction of this hallway. What do you do?
okay. What I'm going to do is, just to be thorough, I'm going to just kind of wiggle the door a little bit and see if it opens or if it's locked.
It is unlocked.
It is unlocked. Yeah, then I will open the door to the conference room.
Okay. So when you step inside, the tiled floor gives way to a carpeted floor. And a large wood table sort of fits in with the general decor of the room, which is pretty business austere. The chairs are pushed in, the lights are off. It doesn't appear to be in use. You do see like several portraits hanging on one of the walls, conference equipment, that sort of thing.
Okay. Havaka will keep the lights on as he has somewhat night vision despite his hot form. So as he kind of looks around, none of the pictures look odd, obviously, in any way. They're just pictures.
They are portraits. They have little brass placards at the bottom of them. The middle one is a portrait of an older man, like it's a photo portrait, not like an actual painted portrait, of an older gentleman, balding, sort of what you'd expect to see in a lineup of photo portraits in a hospital. And the placard says, Aaron Reeves, founder of the Reeves Coma Award. The one next to it is a pretty imposing looking gray-haired woman, no nonsense look on her face. The placard says Patricia Barton, donor since 2003. The one on the other side is a younger man, couldn't be more than halfway through his 20s, with a nice suit. Looks like he has some money and shows it more than some of these other individuals. Kimball Shaw, donor since 2016. And then the last one is a Hispanic woman, Maria Cortez, donor since 2011. And that's what the portraits say.
Havika will begin jotting down these names and what descriptions he has from at the moment for further research at a later date.
Mhm.
After just going a quick look around, there's outside the equipment, there's no open computer possibly unless there's just a computer for projecting.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing like that.
Okay. Then once he gathers this information, he'll look to Dorian and says, anybody outside?
Dorian looks like sneaky looks.
As you take a sneaky look, someone passes in front of the door and then turns down the hallway you just came from.
Someone just passed, but they didn't see us.
And he says, good. All right, we're done here. And then as he'll begin to try to lead Dorian to another part.
Okay, so there's only one way out, and it's back into the hallway.
Mhm.
And so it's either back the way you came or taking a hard left up into the doorway.
No, I would like to take a hard left where the image you showed looks like there's beds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go in that direction, please.
Okay, so whenever you get to the door, it's another pair of double doors, and they have the slight windows in them, and you see a bunch of the sort of medical nooks where medical beds would be, and the curtains are drawn on 4 of them, and the other ones are empty.
And this is going to be hard because this is a very open area, and we don't know the schedule of the nurses.
As you peek inside, you see that there are some individuals, a pair of them, off to the side of a desk, with their backs to the door, typing in some information. Can't really see over their shoulder.
Okay. And I am going to take the time to kind of get in a position where we can't, not necessarily can't be seen, but safely be at and kind of wait for them to leave. So if we need to go back to the conference room, I'll do that. But and maybe just kind of listen and see if they go past the door.
They're sitting down. You don't really get an indication of if they're going to be leaving anytime soon.
And I said, Havika kind of again grits his teeth. Like, ugh. And he looks at these doors. Do these doors look like they're affected by any type of fire alarm system?
In what way?
In a way that these doors should all open up. They wouldn't lock up if an alarm would go off.
Yeah, they don't look locked.
Okay. And he'll look over the Dorian and goes, "What do you think about causing a commotion for these guys to leave?"
What do you have in mind?
False alarm. Said, though they may try to, their first response may be just simply try to get the patients out first. And again, he looks around. There's no cameras here, so we might be able to knock them out. And just make sure. I said, then check out what we can.
How many patients are there? Are they all like asleep?
Like I said, there are 4 of the little nooks are covered by curtains, by medical curtains, so you can't see, and the rest are empty.
Okay, gonna have to be kind of quiet about it.
I don't know. I wish the others were here. I would like their input. And I am curious, what are the others doing at this moment?
They're in the Umbra.
Are you forcing a segue?
Segue, that would be wrong, right? I don't know.
Okay. Meanwhile, in the Umbra,
Milo's going to focus on getting scarier in the hole.
the 3 of you jump down and there is some ethereal light sort of like drifting down from above you in the hole you just jumped through, and you can see several spots of this light, and it just smells pretty rotten down here.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
So, do our voice echo here in here or anything at all?
Yes.
Okay. So, she's not going to talk, but she is going to nudge dude forward.
Yeah. When she does,
The fuck?
he pulls out a slide whistle.
I would
But,
like to stealthily walk though, if possible.
Okay. Never mind what I wanted to do then. Yeah, we'll stealth.
Okay. Stealth it is.
What do you want to do, Milo?
Ooh, I wanted to activate Visage of Fenris, but I don't think that's subtle.
I mean, what are you being subtle for? You're in Krenos.
Mm-hmm.
Fair point. Let's get scary. Let me see here.
I'm here for this. Active.
All right, so -1 because nightmares. Brah. 2 successes.
What does that do?
I prepared a screenshot for you, but it gives a -1 diff to or not a -1. It gives a -1 to opponent's initiative. It gives a -1 diff or a -1. Yeah. A -1 diff to. Oh, never mind. Yeah, I'll just send you the screenshot. So, copy. Messenger. But, yeah. They're activating that. Presses forward.
Okay, so you make your way into the darkness, and after a handful of steps, and your eyes begin to adjust to the darkness, you see shambling forms in the gloom ahead of you. Roll initiative.
Yes.
Text wits, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you roll for initiative?
1d10. Yeah, you roll 1d10 and you add your dex plus your wits as a modifier.
Oof.
If you want, you can tell me. I'll create like an initiative list.
Going on a 7.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you roll, Icarus?
Sorry, one moment. My son is actively wanting chips. And I got distracted. Be right there.
No worries. Dex wits. -1. So the enemies go at an 11.
Start barking careless whispers at him.
Board, 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 board.
Welcome to the Walk Club.
I hope we can get there. I hope we can get to this fight at 2, but we'll see. We don't even know what's going on right now.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Just one more time. It was 1d10, and then what else do we have to add to it?
Dex wits.
You add your dex and wits as a bonus. So, like, if you have a 3 dex and a 3 wits, you add 6 to whatever you roll in your d10. And that number is your initiative.
Don't forget your form stats as well.
So you're going to have +1 dex from Krynos.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. God damn it. Okay.
I think you only had +1 for Hispo. Might be +2.
It's +3 for his power, yeah.
Okay, so Zelda's at an 8 then.
Also slow. Okay, so do we have an order?
Still waiting for Icarus.
Oh, I got a 7. Well, total. My 1d10 was a 1, and then I added the 6, which made 7.
All right. So who has the higher dex between you and Crow Catcher?
Currently 4.
Totally beats me.
Okay. So, okay. There we go.
Okay. So the shambling form moving towards you, as the light comes upon it, it looks vaguely human, except it looks airy, wispy. It's almost as if it's been shattered in 1,000 pieces. And you just feel the pain coming off of this thing. And it sort of screams a bloody, broken scream at you. And, yeah. What we got? Who's going first? They are?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's going to shamble forward and attempt to thump Milo.
Bring it.
But first, okay. So, look. What is this minis? Two successes. it thumps you with its claw, but doesn't manage to deal any damage. And similar forms will come stalking out of the shadow to attack the other two. But for this one,
Okay.
so this one's going to attack Zelda. And 2 successes. It's going to deal 3 bashing, 4 bashing rather.
Bashing.
She only takes 1.
So it thumps you, and it rings you a little bit. Overall, you're not too fussed by it. And then the third one. Okay. It's going to attack Icarus. Three successes. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bashing.
Oh. Oh, that hurts. That's a lot.
Go ahead and roll your
It doesn't
stamina.
really. You're in Krynos.
Go ahead and roll your stamina to soak. It's going to be your stamina plus 3 for your form.
Stamina plus. Gotcha. Do I lose 1 because of nightmares?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Ouch.
Yep.
So this one comes and just flings all of its weight behind one of its gnarled arms, and it just catches Icarus, who I'm assuming this is his first fight with a creature of the worm. Yeah, just catches him completely unaware. Just the look of it, the horror of this thing that you couldn't even imagine just a few weeks ago, just thumps you right across the skull, rings your bell.
That's true.
Everyone sees Icarus sort of get snuck by one of these things. All right, that's all for now. Who's next?
Zelda. Zelda sees this, and then she's gonna forget the one that hit her, and then she's gonna go for the one on the cub. So, let's see.
Before you attack, hang on. Start your turn. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, so is this the start of my turn? Can I automatically heal the bruised, the bashing?
Not sure what the timing is on the automatic heal.
Okay. All right.
I mean, let me take a look real fast.
MA did look that up. Sorry.
What did she say?
She said when you're in a form other than breed, you can heal 1 bashing per turn.
Okay. I'll just say it's at the beginning.
Okay. Shit. Where's? Alright. So, 5d10. Let me just make sure that's the case. That is the case. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4 successes because it's diff 4. So 3 carryover, so that's 10 ag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minus 1, so 5 ag.
Okay, so you like dash right across in between Icarus and Milo and maul this thing, and just that was with a claw or bite.
That was a bite.
Just
So
like take a
basically-
massive chunk, just like right out of its shoulder / side, and basically just like almost sever its arm completely from its body. And yeah, with the familiar taste of gross worminess.
Yeah, she spits it out. Like she literally like bites it off and like flings it. You know what I mean? Like kind of like the same motion. Yeah. Oh, she'll spend a rage. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
Milo, and he's going to drop 2 rage for extra actions.
Start your turn real fast.
Mhm.
Okay.
Man, ominous.
Mhm.
He's for his main action. I will Call of the Wild. I'll do a Call of War. He'll he'll hold his claws out and raise his maw and shout, "Show him what you got!"
Yes.
And that's stamina, empathy. Should I just have it? 7 to 10 plus redo 61. That is 3 successes.
Okay.
I know there was I know Robbie Susan had some house rules on Call of the Wild. Are you keeping those?
I don't know what they are, and I'm not going to figure it out right now.
Okay. Rules is written. ST decides what the benefit is.
Well, that's vague.
Yeah, the storyteller determines the effects as appropriate to the purpose to which, perhaps awarding a bonus die to Revel participants for each 2 successes or granting a point of rage to all listeners for an exceptional battlefield howl.
Sure. Everyone gets a point of rage.
Yay. Awful now.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And pass turn to Icarus.
Part of your turn. You heal 1 bashing.
Wonderful. He'll shake his head to try to clear it really quick. Is the one that hit him, that's the one the Zelda took out?
It's not gone. It's still wobbling, but it looks super close to dead.
Okay.
Fuck him up.
Icarus. Icarus will use Brawl to punch him.
Would you like to claw? Because punch only deals bashing.
Claw that motherfucker.
Yes, Claw. I forgot. I mean, Krynos, most definitely. I will do that.
What's the penalty for 5 damage? Or 4? 4 now.
No.
-3.
Minus 2.
That's 2. All right, so you have a -2 dice penalty in addition to your nightmares because you're wounded.
Yeah.
So it's your Dex Brawl -3 dice.
Gotcha.
Okay, 1 success. So now roll your strength plus claws is 2, or is it 1?
2. It's 2.
2.
At diff 6.
Yes. And remember that you're adding 4 strength, or are you Hispo? You're Krinos?
Krynos.
Yes. So you add +4 to your strength. -3.
Who's living with R2D2?
All right.
That seems
So-
really low. It should be more than that. But, anyways.
What's so your base strength is
Her base strength, so she should roll 5 plus 2, so she should be rolling 4 more
a -3.
The -3 doesn't come into for damage. She took the -3 for the hit.
Well, then it shouldn't go into soaking either.
It shouldn't, no.
All right. Anyway, 2 damage is enough. Describe how you murder it.
He will get really angry, and he'll just start wildly clawing at it. Not necessarily screaming, but definitely yelling at it. He'll just start screaming obscenity. That's just obscurities about it as he just starts clawing it in the face and chest, wherever he can get his hands on.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, it is very dead.
Good.
All right. So rage actions.
Okay, Zelda's going to go on the one that she was attacking, or the one that originally hit her now.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3 minus 1, so 2. 1 carries over, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ag.
Okay, you get a meaty hit on it. Milo?
Milo goes in for the claws, and the one that attacked him gets full house, 6 successes.
Okay.
So that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plus 5, 17.
Jesus.
Built Ford tough. 7 ag.
So whenever you go to slash at the one in front of you, Milo, at the beginning of your turn, whenever you did your call, you didn't manage to really notice that this one seems to have almost faded out of existence. And when you go to swipe at it, you catch nothing but air. You just pass right through it. It's still in front of you. You can still see it, but you find no purchase when you hit it.
Oh, that was a good ass roll, man.
Say
Oh. The fuck? Hold still and die!
Oh, I didn't go nowhere. Who spent rage? Did you spend 2?
I did. Did Icarus spend any?
No.
Oh, okay, doke. Yeah, I have a second rage action. If it's still incorporeal, and he saw Zelda's target take a hit, he's going to switch targets.
Okay.
Copy. Paste. 5. So it's going to be 16 this time. Copy. Paste. Go back. Turn that into a 6. /r space. 8. 8 ag.
Yeah, it just obliterates when you hit it.
And then he rears his head back around his shoulder at the incorporeal one.
Top of the round.
Yes. So the one still in front of you. Let's see what happens. Okay. It almost seems to finally coalesce once more, and we'll try and thump you. Two successes. One, two, three, bashing.
Nightmare's counting against soak still?
No, nothing reflexive.
Okay. Soaks it.
All right.
Okay.
Zelda is going to attack, move around this last one because that's the only one standing right.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to go behind it to flank it and bite it.
Okay.
Would that give me a lower diff by chance?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so 4d10 diff 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 carry over. 11d10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ag.
Yeah. Describe how you kill it.
Yeah. Once she sees that if this one finally coalesces and tries to swipe at Crowcatcher, she takes the opportunity to slip behind it and basically just starts biting off the limb, letting it fall on its on its side, and then she bites it in the middle of the torso, basically ripping it in half, and then again bites it at the neck, basically just dismembering this motherfucker.
Okay. And yeah, and so you sort of maul through it, and you find yourself once again in silence, except for the incessant clicking of metallic limbs above going to and fro.
Thayard. Do you know what those were?
Never seen them before in my life.
Not in the slightest. Wait, can I roll Spirit Lord and no?
No.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know what it
Worth a
is.
shot.
I've never seen them before in my life, so I don't know.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. It still bleeds, obviously, so I guess let's continue forward.
Meanwhile, back up at the surface, in the reel, what's going on over there with Havoc and Dorian?
I guess we're knocking out a couple of unconscious people, like a couple of badasses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the alpha is saying we should do.
Yeah, Havaga suggested that we should pull the alarm. That way we can get a panic. That way people will begin leaving the building, so they won't check out where the alarm comes at until later on, and we'll be long gone by then. So, yeah, if there's a fire alarm in this conference room.
There's not, but there's one out in the hall.
Alrighty. Then I'm gonna pull it.
Okay. So you go and you pull the fire alarm, and the emergency lights come on, a loud blaring, shrieking, blaring noise emanates out, and panic ensues. What do you do?
All right, I'm going to shift up into Glabro so I can at least get some, I guess, different looks on myself, and also I can use the extra strength for what I'm about to do.
And what are you about to do?
I'm going to see first if the orderlies either run or they're going to try to grab the patients.
Well, the orderlies do not grab the patients.
Okay.
They leave out the door leading towards the nurse's station.
Oh, sweet. So they just run. Okay. Then, all right. Time to check these bodies.
Okay.
And I guess before I do it, and just to make it look like maybe the lights for some reason went out, I am going to cast Shroud in this room.
Okay. Does Shroud affect Dorian, by the way?
I'm sorry?
Does Shroud affect Dorian?
Yes, that's why I gave him the cord, so that way he's attached to me.
I see.
Yeah, so he won't be able to see through it, but I don't think unless he wants unless he's gonna check in on bodies too. I guess I'll ask him that just in case. No reason to diminish our abilities.
How long does the Shroud last?
It doesn't have a definite time. It seems to be it seems to believe it is based off of my will. So once I dismiss it, it's over. Yeah. Yeah, the blackout. Yeah, Garou's sight, the power, which permits total darkness, only capable. Yeah. Yeah, so it does not have a stated time limit. So it seems to be based off of my will.
I see. Okay. You drop a Shroud of Darkness in the middle of the ward.
And all right, then I'll begin checking the bodies and see if my worm senses get stronger at any particular bodies.
So whenever you go and you open the first shroud, let's see, hooked up to all manner of devices, is this.
Yeah, like, and we're in the real, so that's really freaking me out. That should not be here.
And
when the fuck did that start playing a zombie? Start being in a zombie movie or game or whatever?
I'm sorry?
No, that's just Dorian saying, when the fuck did I enter like a zombie movie?
You can't see. You're in darkness.
Oh.
You're in pitch black. You're holding a cord in pitch blackness. And just hear Havoc go, ugh.
What's up?
The orderlies are looking more than just human patients. This is a problem. This is.
Are they unconscious?
When you hear, whenever the two of you speak, its head just sort of tilts and looks in the general direction that the voices are coming from. And it sort of like reaches over and slashes off all of the tubing around it. And begins to roll out of the bed.
Okay, this thing is obviously helpless or looking for help. So yeah, murder time. Kill the worm wherever it lays.
Maybe take the shroud out. I can't see shit.
And I think that we're going to have to part 2 this, guys.
Yes.
It's been going on for a minute.
Yes, it has.
So thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Part 2 coming whenever we can get to it.